The lucky thing for me in the series is I don't have the same pressure that these guys do of, being Elvis or being Johnny Cash and having that, idea that people have so strongly in their heads of, who these men were. So Marion Keisker was a real woman, and she is a fascinating person. There was not much recorded about her history because, she's a woman in the 50s. And, we're still struggling with that now with, women getting the same opportunities and everything as men. So finding information on her was a little more difficult, but it's also, as an actor, it's nice because I get to take the pieces of her that I found and also from talking to some friends of hers in Memphis, but I get to make the character my own some. And, we're not making a documentary, with this, but we're taking our own, liberties with some of the story, but definitely based in a lot of the fact and, the relationship that Marion and Sam have, was a real relationship, in their life. And she did so much just as a woman in her time to work in radio and, produced her own radio programs and wanted to do shows, that appealed to broad audiences and, refused to do radio programs that just talked about domestic chores and housekeeping. She wanted to talk about interesting cultural things. And so to get to play a woman like that is always a thrill.
And she was kind of the brains behind the operation.
She was. You got to have a woman behind there to make everything happen, right? So the men are awesome too, but yeah, she really worked hard, and the studio just would not have run the same way. Everybody said that. She was the one that you kind of had to go through her to get to Sam, and she ran things and paid the bills and got everything that she needed to produce the records and, whatever they were doing, she did the business. Sam was there to really do the music and make the artists.
Yeah. And Drake, how about you? It's a scary role to take on, I'm sure, and you're
Absolutely.
singing and performing and...
Yeah, it's intimidating, but I've done enough research about Elvis, and you got to realize, there will be huge Elvis fans out there who will, be really critical, and I'm sure I'm my worst critic, but yeah, to get to do my own interpretation of Elvis and do it on a platform like this is really cool. I mean, and to take my own thoughts about Elvis and what Elvis would have been thinking in high school and how this sudden fame that hit him. He was just a poor boy at Humes High, an awkward teenager, and then a couple years later, he's the biggest star in the world. So it's an incredible transformation there and an incredible arc to get to play.